Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will discuss previously asked questions from various engineering exams on metal cutting and single point cutting tool. So let us start our video. Our first question is, which of the following is an example of orthogonal cutting? The options are shaping, turning, drilling or milling. The right answer for this question is part A, shaping. We know that in metal cutting there are two types of machining, orthogonal machining or oblique machining. In orthogonal machining, cutting edge of tool is perpendicular to the cutting velocity. Some of the examples of orthogonal cutting are shaping, grooving, parting, and planar. So right answer is part A, shaping. That is an example of orthogonal cutting. These three are the examples of oblique cutting. Now we will see our next question. For achieving specific surface finish in single point turning, the important factor to be controlled is depth of cut, cutting speed, rake angle or feed. The right answer for this question is part D, feed. We know that surface finish is inversely proportional to surface roughness. So we will calculate the surface roughness. The formula for surface roughness is f square divided by 8r, where f is the feed and r is the nose radius. So we can say surface finish depends on nose radius and feed. In given options, nose radius is not given but feed is given. So part D is the right answer, feed. Now we will see our next question. For cutting brass with single point cutting tool should have negative rake angle, positive rake angle, zero rake angle or zero relief angle. The right answer for this question is part C, zero rake angle. Zero rake angle is particularly used for machining of cast iron, brass, thread cutting and gear cutting. Here we have been asked for machining of brass. So right answer is part C, zero rake angle. Now we will see our next question. Crater wear occurs mainly due to abrasion, diffusion, oxidation or adhesion. The right answer for this question is part B, diffusion. I will try to draw a rough diagram for better understanding. Suppose this is the workpiece and this is the tool. Crater wear occurs on top surface of tool, that is called the rake face of the tool. Whereas flank wear occurs on the lower surface of tool, which is called the flank surface of the tool. Here crater wear occurs on the rake surface of the tool. It occurs due to diffusion and abrasion, but mostly due to diffusion because due to tube flow direction the temperature is very high and it occurs due to the diffusion of carbon atoms. Crater wear is predominant in brittle materials like tungsten carbide tools. So right answer is part B, diffusion. Now we will move to our next question. The straight grades of cemented carbide cutting tool materials contain tungsten carbide only, tungsten carbide and titanium carbide, tungsten carbide and cobalt, tungsten carbide and coal carbide. The right answer for this question is part C, tungsten carbide and cobalt. You should remember that straight grade cemented carbide tools contain tungsten carbide and cobalt only. It is used for machining of cast iron. The inserts of cemented carbide tools are made by powder metallurgy. So right answer is straight grade carbide tools are made by tungsten carbide and cobalt. Now we will see our next question. Relief angles are given on cutting tool to control the chip flow direction, break the chip, or avoid rubbing between workpiece and tool. The right answer for this question is part D. Avoid rubbing between workpiece and tool. The relief angles are provided so that flank of the tool, that is lower surface of the tool, clears the workpiece surface and there is no rubbing action between tool and workpiece. For general purpose, relief angles usually range from 5 degree to 15 degree. So here option D is the right answer. Avoid rubbing between workpiece and the tool. Now we will see our next question. Cemented carbide tools are usually provided with positive rake angle, negative rake angle, zero rake angle or negative relief angle. The right answer for this question is part B, negative rake angle. You should know that negative rake angle is provided for brittle materials. Cemented carbide tools are brittle materials, so part B is the right answer. Negative bake rake angle is used for machining brittle materials like ceramic tools, cemented carbide tools, CBN tools, etc. So part B is the right answer. Now we will see our next question. Which of the following does not favor the production of discontinuous chips? The options are brittle material, large chip thickness, low cutting speed, or large rake angle. The right answer for this question is part D, large rake angle. You should know that for production of discontinuous chips, the work material should be brittle, cutting speed should be low, and rake angle should be low. The materials like cast iron and brass produce discontinuous chips. Here we have been asked the condition that does not favor the production of discontinuous chips. We see here rake angle should be low, but option D, rake angle is large, so it does not favor it. So answer is part D. Now we will see our next question. What carries away maximum heat energy in a machining process? The options are coolant, tool, chips or workpiece. The right answer for this question is part C, chips. That out of total heat generated by metal cutting, 80% of heat is carried away by chips, 10% is carried by tool and 10% by workpiece. So maximum heat is carried away by chips. So answer is part C, chips. Now we will see our next question. Index n of Taylor's tool life equation Vt raised power n equal to constant depends on. The options are work material, coolant, tool material or type of chip. The right answer for this question is part C, tool material. We know that Taylor's tool life equation is given by Vt raised power n equal to C, where V is velocity, T is tool life N is tool exponent and C is Taylor's constant. This N exponent depends on tool material only, whereas this constant C depends on tool material, coolant and work material. Here we have been asked N, tool index, that is tool material only. Part C is the right answer. Now we will move to our next question. Thrust force will increase with the increase in. The options are nose radius of tool, rake angle, side cutting edge angle or end cutting edge angle. The right answer for this question is part C, side cutting edge angle. Side cutting edge angle has no influence on cutting force and cutting power. That means if we increase side cutting edge angle, it does not affect cutting force and cutting power. But with increase in side cutting edge angle, thrust force increases and axial force decreases. So thrust force increases with the increase in side cutting edge angle. So part C is the right answer. Now we will move to our next question. Which of the following angle is not in the tool signature? Rake angle, relief angle, nose angle or lip angle? The right answer for this question is part D, lip angle. We know that there are 7 elements in the tool signature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first one denotes back rake angle, second one denotes side rake angle, third one denotes end relief angle, fourth one side relief angle, fifth is end cutting edge, sixth is side cutting edge, and the last is nose radius. On comparing the options, lip angle is not mentioned in the tool signature. So the answer is part D, lip angle, which is not in the tool signature. Now we will see our next question. If cutting speed is 2 meter per second, depth of cut is 0.5 mm, chip thickness is 0.6 mm, then chip velocity is. The options are 1.66 meter per second, 1.2, 3 meter per second or 2.4 meter per second. The right answer for this question is part A, 1.6 meter per second. We know that chip thickness ratio R is given by uncut chip thickness divided by chip thickness equal to chip velocity divided by cutting velocity. Here in question, cutting speed is given means V is 2 meter per second. Depth of cut means uncut chip thickness is 0.5 mm T. Chip thickness is 0.6 Tc. Now we will put the values and get the answer. So the right answer is 1.66 meter per second part A. Now we will see our next question. The chip thickness ratio R in orthogonal metal cutting operation is always greater than unity, equal to unity, less than unity or equal to depth of cut. The right answer for this question is part C, less than unity. Chip thickness ratio is given by uncut chip thickness divided by chip thickness. We also know that chip thickness after cut is always greater than chip thickness before the cut, means this denominator is greater than the numerator. So this ratio will be always less than unity. So part C is the right answer. Now we will see our next question. Which type of chips form while machining the brittle materials? The options are continuous chips, discontinuous chips, built-up chips, or can be any of above. The right answer for this question is part B, discontinuous chips. We know that discontinuous chips are formed while machining the brittle materials like cast iron. For discontinuous chips, rake angle should be low and cutting speed should be low. Brittle materials always produce discontinuous chips, so part B is the right answer.